8月5日榴弹炮修理赛，8月7日高射炮修理赛，8月9日火箭炮修理赛，8月11日轻武器2项接力赛，8月14日修理排综合接力赛的顺序逐阶段进行，主要包括安全技术检查、装备故障排除、牵引越障行军等内容。实用装备包括 PL96 式122毫米牵引式榴弹炮、PG87 式双管25毫米高射炮、PHL81 式122毫米火箭炮、QBZ95-1 式5.8毫米自动步枪、QGB95-1 式5.8毫米班用机枪、QSZ92 式5.8毫米手枪。比赛过程中使用的装备器材均由中方提供。
国际军事比赛2019军械能手项目裁判长岳安德少将，裁判长助理徐正红大校，裁判6人，
assistant
每个参赛国派出1名裁判
Mr. Xu Zhenghong. Each team is assigned one judge, and Mr. Liu Zhiwen will be the Chinese judge. Armenia judge, Ossevian Arsen. Iran judge, Kazakhstan judge, Zaknov Vladimir Yurovich. Russian judge, Mirokorevich. Uzbek judge, Arslan Bekovich. Today we are going to have the first stage of the ordnance expert, and this part is the howitzer maintenance competition. And according to the draw before this competition, there will be several groups. The first is Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan, and Group 2, Iran and China. Group 3, Armenia and Russia. After the competition begins, the competitors will have to transform the howitzer from to the stage, and then to move it to the sanitary area, the bridge area, and the curvy road, the tire replacement area, and the hills, the coverage, small channel, narrow channel, the hilly area, burning area, a blast area, and a water ground, and then come back to the technical center to rule out its problems and then do a retesting. After this part, the competition will be finished, and the ranking will be determined by the time that is used by each group.
In the battlefield, we have to conquer the enemies, and the repair experts are ready. World peace is the result and the mission of those soldiers, and the national strength relies on the confidence of the soldiers. Welcome to the howitzer repair contest. I am Li Jiahui, and I am Yan Peiqiang. In the first round, in number 3 base, Uzbekistan team will compete with Kazakhstan team. And the team members are already standing in line. Now let's have some more introduction about those members. On the left, standing in number 3 base is from Uzbekistan. The members are Salakmetov,
列兵托什普拉托夫，
also Toshplatov,
中士别克纳扎罗夫，
Beknazarov,
列兵乌斯门诺夫，
Osmanov,
中士图罗波夫，
Torobov,
列兵米尔扎阿克巴罗夫，
Mirzakbarov,
列兵托日博耶夫，
Toriberev,
中士阿舒拉里耶夫，
Asulariev.
位于右侧4号技术阵
And
地的
standing
是
on the
哈萨克斯坦
right
参赛队，
from number 4 base is from Kazakhstan. The
中
members
士
are
乌杰耶夫、
Uziev,
上等兵阿尔达纳扎罗夫、
Arda Nazayev,
上士马克苏托夫、
Maksotov,
列兵别克杰米索夫、
Bekjemizov,
下士别克图尔、
Bektur,
上等兵雷萨尔德、
Private First Class Lesader,
下士阿利姆博瑟诺夫、
and Alimu Bosinov,
中士塔日办、
Taraban.
百舸争流，奋击者先。期待两组参赛队在赛场上
We are looking
奋力
forward
拼搏
to the two
创造佳
teams
绩
to
取得属于自己的荣
leave
誉和骄
behind
傲。
their
观众
honor
朋友们，
in this
请把欢
battlefield.
呼和掌声送给场
Now
上的队
please
员
give
们。
all of those competitors our biggest applause.
报告裁判长，榴弹炮修理比赛第一场
To report to the judge, the first round of howitzer repair contest is about to begin.
比赛2019军械
The
能手项目
2019
比赛
International Army Games and howitzer repair contest officially begins.
好的，观众朋友们，裁判长已经下达了比赛开始的指令，修理班人员
The
迅
judge
速按下计时
gives
器，
order
两队
already.
同时展开了作业。
And
可
the
以
two
看出两
teams
组参赛队
start
员都是
their
分工明
repair
确，动作
contest
非常的迅速
at
娴
the
熟。
same
整个
time.
场
They're
面
very
看起来
quick,
是忙而不乱，双方的势头都非常的猛。
even though they seem
赛场上
busy,
两支
but
队
they're
伍
in
迅速
order.
展开了比拼，模拟的就是在战场上
The
火
two
炮受
teams
损
are
修理班
simulating
需要在技术阵地上快速检
how
修
the
恢
repair
复
team
火
will
炮
have
性
to
能。
repair those
是的，
damaged
现在两个修理
weapons
班
on
人
the
员要
battlefield.
将榴弹炮
The
由
two
行军
teams
状态转换至战斗状态。
will have to turn the howitzer into the battle state.
好，通过画面来
They
看
have，to
双方
change the pipe.
两支队伍都已经将火炮拆装工程车停靠到位。
Two teams
是的
carry
那
the
此时
cannon
呢
onto the
队员
board.
需要卸下炮口支退器、防微板
They
和
have
带
to
有附近
unload
机助退器
The
的身管，
equipment,
利用旁边的 CXW311型火炮拆装
and
工
with
程车进行
CXW
身管的分离。
311,
那本次
they
比
have
赛
to
呢是
separate
8
the
名队
pipes.
员协同
There are
配
8
合
members
那
in
每
the
个人
crew.
之间的
They
任务
coordinate
分工
with each
是
other,
不同的。那么如何在
and they
比赛
have
过程
different
中所有的
responsibilities.
队员默契配合，达到一个最佳的
How can they
效果，
closely
才是能
coordinate
够
with
让
each
我们
other
的
to get the
成
best
绩达到一
result?
个最佳的状态。
That will determine their final
是的，我
performance.
们现在通过导播给出的画面可以看到两组参赛队员的动作是
With
互相上
the
下。
camera, we could see that the two teams are quite in a tie.
看到整个场地，人员动作是非常的紧张。
在场地周围呢，也有地段编采。在
In the venue, we have some commanders and judges videotaping their performance. That is to guarantee the fairness of this contest.
通过导播画面，我们可以看到队员操作的机械手柄、调动火炮。
The mechanical arms
是的，
and
此
the
时哈
pipes
萨克斯坦
carrying
参
the
赛队要领
equipment
先一筹。
is rolling.
率先
Kazakhstan seems to take a
那么
step
乌兹别克这边
lead,
乌兹别克斯坦的
and
参赛队同样也
as
是
to
挂好了绳索
Uzbekistan team, they
准
have
备起吊升管，
already put
参
the
赛队
barrel
员要
onto
和
the
火炮拆
mechanical
装工
arm.
程车协力将升管卸
They
下。
have to
看到队员
unload
是非
the
常的
barrel.
吃力，整个升管是非常的重
They。seems in a difficult situation because of the heavy weight of the barrel.
画面切换到哈萨克斯坦队准备安装炮口制退器。那么这个地方
Kazakhstan
要注意通力协作。
is also
升管已经到
working
位
on their
是的，观
equipment.
众朋友们可
The
能
barrel
会
is in
疑惑为
place
什么
as well.
拆了又装，装了
You
又
may
拆
be
呢？
wondering
那
why
此
are
时
they
就
loading
是
and
在这个技术
unloading the
阵
barrel
地上
again and
参
again?
赛队员需要将行军状态的火
The
炮
competitors
转换至战斗状态，然后
have
再
to
转换
turn
为行军
the
状态开
equipment
始列仗
into the
是的，
worry
这里啊就
state.
是模拟的身管受损，要更换身管。那么更换身管的
So they
之前
have to
要
change
拆下
the barrel.
制器、防伪板这些零部件。
But
那么现在大家
before
都在
they
紧张的安装。
install the
是
barrel,
的，那此时
they have to
乌兹别克斯
unload
坦的参赛
and
队员
disinstall
们
the other
动作
equipment.
要稍稍落后。现场的观众朋友们，让我们为他们加加油、鼓鼓劲，好吗？
Let's give them a big hand to encourage the two
那我们
teams.
看到乌兹别克斯坦参赛队的身管已经
The Uzbekistan team's
安装
barrel
完毕。那么哈萨克
is
斯坦
already
队正在
installed.
紧固附近军螺母 U 型管。
Kazakhstan is tightening the screw and the U pipe.
好的，防伪板已经安装完毕，在拧紧反活动
It's
护盖的
installed
螺母。
already.
是的，此时乌兹别克斯坦参赛队是奋起直追，手中的动作是非常的快。
Uzbekistan is catching up.
我们看到哈萨克斯坦参赛队员在技术阵地的动作将
The
要完成。
Kazakhstan team will complete all their maneuvers.
那么我们通过画面看到乌兹别克斯坦队的参赛队员还在紧张的作业，
The crew members from Uzbekistan are still
防伪
working.
板的这个螺母。那么同时呢，哈萨克斯坦队已经开始打高千斤顶，准备合并打架。
And Kazakhstan
是的，我们现在看到导播给到了主席台，
is
现
already
在
taking out their jack.
哈萨克斯坦的队友们正在为他们的参赛
And
队员加油助威
Kazakhstan，
摇旗呐喊。
team members are shouting for their
好
team.
的，哈萨克斯坦队的参赛队员也是非常的给力。
Kazakhstan
现场的观众朋友
competitors,
们，你们都是
are
今天
doing
比
a
赛的
good
一份
job.
子，集体的力量是无
I
穷
guess all
的，
the
只有你们的
spectators
呐喊
today
才能让
are a
赛场
member
更有
of this
活力。来
competition.
吧，朋友们，
Your
为场上的勇
shouts
士
and
们
your
欢呼
applause
喝彩
will
加
add
油
more
助
spice
威。
to this
让我们共
competition.
同祝愿场上的队员们发挥出最好的水
Let's
平。
give the competitors our best wishes.
乌兹别克斯坦队的队员们还在紧张的紧固 U
For
型管
Uzbekistan
跟附近螺母。
They are still tightening the
14
screws
号
and
技术
the
阵地的哈萨克斯
U-shaped
坦参赛
tube.
队已经将车辆
As to number
停靠到
4,
位，
Kazakhstan
准备挂
team
炮。
has already parked their vehicle.
安装连接 两个气刹管和一根电缆线。
installation,
是的，
connection,
两个阵地呢
for
相
example,
距
connecting the
不是很
cables.
远。此时，乌兹别克斯坦参赛队的队员心理压
And
力肯定是非
Uzbekistan
常的
crew
大。
members
好的
must be
哈萨
under
克斯
huge
坦队的
pressure right
班长
now.
已经举手示意。此时，
The
比
crew
赛
leader
进入
from
暂停
Kazakhstan
状态
has raised
那
his
地段边裁
hand.
将要检查行军状态
So
的准
now
备情况。
the
此时
judge
这段时
will
间
have to
是将要
inspect
在
the
短时间内
installation
扣除的
result.
所以说，
And in
我
this
们地段边
meantime,
裁的检查时间的
the
长短
time
会
will
影响
have
大
to
家
be
的最后
counted.
成绩。 同样，乌兹别克斯坦斯裁队还在紧张的作业。
Uzbekistan team is still working on their installation.
都是非常的紧张。收起千斤顶。
是的，我们
They're
看到
taking away their wheel jack.
面部表情也是
Uzbekistan
非常
crew
的凝重，非
members
常的紧张。
Seem to be in a
观众席
very
的
tight
观众朋友们
situation.
也在为他们
We
不
could
断地
judge
加
from
油，
their
不断地助威。
expressions, and still on the
我
side,
看到
the
观众席
spectators are
乌
shouting
兹别克
for
斯坦
the
队的亲
team.
友团们热情非常
The
高，全都站起来给
Uzbekistan
场上队员们加油
people
助威
seem to stand
希
up
望队员们
and
可以感
shout
受到
for
观
the
众的热情，取
Uzbekistan
得
team.
优异的成绩。
I hope they could feel the enthusiasm and passion
用他
from the
们特有的
spectators.
方式，在为场上的参赛队
With
员
their
加油
unique
鼓劲
way,
相信参赛队员
they're
们
cheering
也能
up
够感受到你们的力
For
量。
those competitors, I believe they
现
can
在
feel
车
the
辆已
power.
经到位，准备挂炮。
Now the vehicle is in place.
画面中我们看到哈萨克斯坦的队员们气喘吁吁，
Kazakhstan
等待
members
着地段边裁的检查
are
结果。
gasping. They are waiting for the
是的，
inspection
那在
result.
接下来的阅战过程中，才是本场比赛最有看
Later on,
点，也是难度系数比
We
较
will have
高
more
的部分。
是
highlights.
的，全
For
程
example, the
4.8
obstacle crossing.
共设置了12道障碍。
It will be 4.8 kilometers with 12 obstacles. That's quite a test of the driving skill. The number 4 Kazakhstan
将
team
进行阅仗。
is already on board of the car, and the obstacle crossing will begin.
不管是哪个参赛队首先阅仗，他们从技术阵地驶
No
出
matter
后
which
在
team
开始阅
starts
仗
first,
前驾驶员要在指定
Once
位
they
置
begin the
停车
obstacle
观察
crossing, the
前方
driver
路
will
段
have to
是否
park
能
at a
够加速
designated
前
place
这也是
and
考验
must
成员的
make a
战
decision
术
about
的第一
whether
件事
the road
好的
is
萨赫斯坦
suitable
队
for
的
crossing.
哈萨克斯坦参
And
赛队
now
员
we see that the Kazakhstan team members are already starting the crossing.
长12.8米，宽3.2米，而车炮的长度是11.9米。
You can see that the length of this distance is
是的，
quite
观众朋友们要
challenging.
开始注意了，前
For
方
the
高能
for
预
the
警
parking
我们看到
technology
今天的赛场可谓是火药味十足
of the
那谁能
driver,
笑到最
so
后
this
成为
must
真正
be
的
a
赢家
very fierce
观众朋友们
competition.
准备好你的尖
Let's
叫
see
呐喊
who
让我们拭目以
will
待吧。
succeed in the end.
好的，哈萨克斯坦队顺利通过了。
Okay, the Kazakhstan team has successfully passed this obstacle.
不知道观众朋友们有没有注意到，整个车
We
子
don't know
半个
if you
圆
have
圈
seen
都
it
是悬
clearly.
空的，非常的惊险。
About half of the wheels are suspended, so it was quite risky. It's a great challenge and test to the driving technology
加速即将到达的是污染洗消
of
区
the operator. Now they are going to enter the pollution desanitary area.
也是在本国通过了层层选拔，不远万里来到了中国的库尔勒参加比赛。
They have undergone a lot of preliminary grounds to come here to the final battleground in Korla.
中国的短短几天啊，
We wish them the very best luck.
希望他们
They've only been here for several days. They have completed all the preparatory work, and we hope they can achieve very good results. Now they have come to the sterilization stage. Now they have to put on anti-chemical masks
我们看到参赛队员已经陆续
as a means of protection.
防护面具。此时，班长
Now they have already put on their masks.
这样地段边裁停表计时，然后去检查他们的穿戴情况。
and the team leader will be checking the situation of the team members and see if the masks are worn properly.
其实污染区模拟的就是遭受核生化污染的战场环境，检验。
So this is an area simulating a chemical polluted battleground.
那么这时呢，地团编采将仔细检查车辆的停靠情况，包括
And the judge will inspect the parking situation of the vehicle.
这些都是比赛的划分项。
是的。
All of these are important standard for the final results. In the real battleground, such operation can change the situation of the battleground in a mere seconds. So it is a very critical condition at wartime. And right now, the truck, howitzer is about to enter the sterilization area. This is very necessary protection, a basic skill for each soldier. It's an important means to protect themselves. And this ground is 10 meters wide. The howitzer have to stay for about 10 seconds in the ground. They have now entered the spot. And at this stage, they will have to take off their masks and seal them in airtight bags, and the leader will be checking their preparatory work. All of these preparatory work will not be accounted as competition time. The audience seems to be quite looking forward to the proceedings of this competition. Can they finish the task in time? These are very careful inspections, and a judge is holding both a red and a white flag at his hand. If all things are ready, the white flag will be raised. If not, the red one will be raised. This will be an important signal to tell the audience, to tell the spectators what is going on on the ground. The judge has given a pass by raising a white flag, showing that the Kazakhstani team members are doing quite well at this stage. Coming next, the trailer will continue to move forward to come to the bridge. It is 5 meters high and only 2 meters wide. Now the trailer is speeding up. Now they have come to the trestle. The driver has to be very careful in order to pass this trestle, and if not, they will be given a 30 seconds time count as a means of punishment. This is to test whether the team can pass this area in a stable, secure, and proficient manner. Therefore, the driver has to be very familiar with the trailer. None of the vehicle's parts should be in contact with the obstacles beside the road. Now they will be entering the wheel replacement area. If the tires were damaged during this movement, they will have to be replaced. So this is a totally a simulation situation for the tractor. If the wheels were damaged, they will have to replace. The wheels will have to be replaced. Now they will have to come to the next destination, the shelter. They have to go across the hills in order to reach the shelter. They have to park halfway on the slope to observe and inspect the situation ahead of it. It will have to stop the engine completely and then restart the engine to go across the dusty hill. This is a great test and challenge for the driving technique, because it's very easy for the vehicle to slip down the hills if not properly controlled. Now it has entered the shelter. The driver will have to see through the rear view mirror in order to park into the shelter. It's a bit like your driver's test, but much more difficult, obviously, because there is a slope. Therefore, the driver have to adjust the direction in a timely manner. The white flag has been raised, so the full operation was quite smooth. Now the next stage will be the narrow tunnel. If the previous road was blasted and the vehicle cannot return by the old road, it will have to go to a new road. Now we can see an aerial shot. There are many obstacles alongside the road, which will be a great test for the driver's technique. Now it has succeeded. We quite marvel at the driving technique. Very sound, very stable, very proficient driving techniques. The 7 team members at the wheel replacement area have already replaced the wheels on the howitzer, and the tractor will now be ready to pull this howitzer. Now it's parking to the best position, also very challenging. The tractor is parked, and howitzer will be tracted. The Kazakhstan team members so far have done a brilliant and respectable job, and no mistakes were made during all of these obstacle crossing stages. It shows that they are quite a strong team. The Kazakhstan members have now finished the stage to attach the howitzer to the tractor. The audience are quite excited, cheering for their own team. They have raised their hands, cheering and bowing for their team. I believe that the team members can also feel your support for them. That would be the biggest motivation for all of these team members on the ground. Now the second team, Team Uzbekistan, is ready to set off. The UZ team has now started their tractor and enter onto the battleground. The howitzer was properly fixed and will have to be moved to the battlegrounds with the help of the tractor. And it has to be parked in a proper area. Now, the first stage, the bridge. Very careful but smooth. White flag has been raised. That's a pass. This is actually a quite difficult stage. It's easy to make mistakes in this area. If that happens, 100 seconds will be added to the total time count. So you have to be very careful, very precise, and very quick. Now the vehicle is speeding up. Very smooth. Now enter the sterilization stage. And it has two areas, the pollution area and the sterilization area. Now the vehicle is parked. Team members get off and form a line along the vehicle. Put on the masks. They seem to be quite proficient at this. The Uzbekistan team were very quick at the obstacle crossing stage, as well as the mask wearing stage. Now the masks are in place. And now you're seeing the Kazakhstanian team. The judge has finished their inspections. And the team members will have to drive the tractors with tractor with the howitzer at its tail to the control center. And before they do that, they will have to go across the dusty hill. This is a hill of 8 meters high with a degree of 20 degrees, with a slope of 20 degrees. The tractor is quite capable in pulling the howitzer across the hill. Very smooth. Now it's driving faster after it crosses the hill, and they will be entering to the curvy road. This is 1 time longer, 2 times longer than the previous path. As you can see, it's driving quite fast at this curvy path.
Because accidentally you may hit the roadway. And also, since the car is driving so fast, there will be very strong centrifugal force. So the members on the car must hold on. That's a test of the driving skill. You must be very proficient in controlling. When it's accelerating the speed, it may come to the extremity. The Uzbekistan team has come to the zone for the anti-toxic mask. Now let's look at the cross obstacle for Kazakhstan. The simulated combustion road with a lot of smoke, like in the real battlefield. To test their adaptability and mentality, we could see the heavy smoke and the fire. It's accelerating the speed and they run through the fire and the smoke. It keeps the speed. And then the minefield. The competitors and the spectators could feel how the war looks like. The next obstacle is about the blast and explosion. It's about the obstacles like the blast in the battlefield. In such a complex situation, the driver will have to have a strong mentality and high adaptability. This is a very narrow road. It must pass through this narrow road. Like we said, we simulate the real battle. Imagine that you are running in a minefield. You have to blaze a trail within the narrow road, less than 3 meters width, and the driver succeeded. The last obstacle, the water tank. It's also a very difficult obstacle. It's 70 meters length and 1.2 meters in depth. This is to simulate how the vehicle passes by the waters. It gets out of the water. Next to the technical zone, we could see the vehicle has already pushed the gun out. With 12 obstacles passed, it gets to its designated zone. In real war, the repair people will have to carry the guns to the front line, and then the battle people could start firing. So in this zone, we have such a damage repair section. Firstly, the gun will have to change to the worry state, and then they have to check the damages, and then change one part. That's the repair work. And they have to check the repair result. All the repair people are also the battling fighters. They are the fighters and the repairmen. The Kazakhstan team has spread it out their equipment. They are hammering in order to stabilize the gun. The hammer is about 14 kilos, and they have to hit a lot of times to put it underground. From the expressions of the team members, they seem to be struggling. And also, the pole must be no more than 27 centimeters in diameter. That's why they are all very anxious, and the spectators are now shouting for their members. Kazakhstan team fights for the last. At this critical moment, they need our cheering. From the screen, we could see they seem to have a perfect control of the rhythm and the speed. After using some tools, they have to put it back. They completed. Kazakhstan team has succeeded in the contest. and the spectators are cheering for the Kazakhstan team.
看到哈萨克斯坦队的队员们也是非常的兴奋。
互相击
And
掌
The crew members are excited.
出了比赛过后的
They're
胜利的喜悦
congratulating each other, and they seem to put on a happy face after the fierce contest. They have a very good result indeed. They are hugging each other.
此时，他们的这种喜悦，相信也感染了在场的每一位
I
观
guess
众。
their joy
让我们再
must
将这
can
种喜
be
悦
felt
传递给
by all the
此时正在
spectators
赛
on
场上
site.
比拼的乌兹别克斯坦参赛队员，带给他
And
们
what
好
about the
运。
Uzbekistan crew members? They seem to need the luck.
掩蔽所准备通过狭窄通道，狭窄通道
They pass by the narrow road.
在300米的距离
It's 300 meters in length. Within 300 meters, there will be 7 obstacles. It's 3 meters in width,
2.5米宽，也就是说左右
and the vehicle is 2.5 meters in width.
半米宽，
So
特别考验。
there is only half a meter of room of maneuver for the driver.
会有80赛车秒。
If they hit the pole on the two sides, they will be penalized
这样
with
的障碍
more
对于
seconds.
乌兹别克斯坦参赛队的驾驶员来说
For
并不算什么
Uzbekistan driver,
已经顺利地驶
That
出了
test is a
将
piece
回
of
到
cake.
轮胎更换
It
区
already get out of the narrow road.
在越障环节的12道障碍啊，总体是对于
All the 12
驾驶员的一个
obstacles
强大的考验。那么
are
因为
actually
每一道障碍
testing the skills
都
of the
需要驾驶
driver.
员有强大的心理
Almost
素质和对
Every
质量的
obstacle
掌控
requires the psychological mentality and controlling ability of the driver. They're going to change the tire and pull the gun and march on.
好的，队员开始挂炮，
They start
火炮
to
重
pull the
3.2
gun.
吨，这个
It's
在轮胎
3.2
高速的
tons
停车的时候啊
in weight.
非常考验
When
驾
they
驶
are
员的
parking
车技
and change the
如果一
tire,
旦
the driver will have to stop steadily.
队员们就需要抬着
If
3.2 吨的
The
火炮
distance
去
from the
到火炮
gun is too
乘
close
车
or
会
too
比较的
distant,
辛苦
then the crew members carrying the gun will be in difficulty.
火之后呢，将要连接2根气插管和1根电缆线。
2 tubes and 1 cable will have to be connected.
气插管的作用啊，是为了在气动刹车的时候，我们传递到火炮上的刹车。那么电缆线啊，是我们火炮后
The
面的
cable
一个指示灯。
is connected to the light on the back of the car.
激情满满，挥动起手中的国旗。
The spectators are waving their flag.
为我们的场上的队员们加油鼓劲，呐喊助威。通过导播的画面，我们可以看到比赛现场来了很多热心的观众，还有许多可爱的小
A
朋友。
lot of enthusiastic
国际军事比赛对于孩子们
spectators,
来说啊
including small kids, are here.
生动的
Such
国
an
防教育
international
希望
games
我们的小
is
精灵
also
们
an
都能够
education
茁壮成
for
长
the kids.
成为
We
建设
hope
强
they
大祖国
could
的栋
grow
梁
up
之才。
into
在
the
中国
supporters
新
of
中
our
国新
national
中国的
defense.
小朋友也是中国的
They are
未来
waving the
栋梁
Chinese
之才
flag, and the Chinese kids will be the future generation of our national
此时
defense.
现场的观众朋友们以及在观看网络直播的所有网友们，也
All the
是实时
viewers
地
watching this
观
show
看着、关注着赛场上
are
乌兹别
paying
克
close
斯坦参赛者
attention
的进
to the Uzbekistan team's progress.
他们的队友也是一脸的期待。
And also, their Uzbekistan people are looking forward.
现在，乌兹别克斯坦参赛队的情况呢是正在检查轮胎更换情况。
Uzbekistan team is checking the tire changing result. Now let's replay.
通过回放画面，我们可以看到车辙桥的
From the replay,
惊险的
we could see how the vehicle passes by the wheel track bridge.
以及他们在
and also their performance in the other obstacles. The inspection is done. All the crew members will get on board and continue the obstacle crossing. It reinitiates. Let's give our best wishes to the final result of Uzbekistan team. Now Uzbekistan vehicle is carrying the howitzer for the slope. The angle is quite big. When they are climbing down, they must feel like losing the gravity. But the driver is in steady control. And waiting them are the curvy roads. It's a test of the driver's skills of turning the wheels and observing the surroundings. We can imagine that in the battlefield, such a curvy road obstacle is how the driver can avoid the gunshots by turning the wheels. Previously, we were talking with the driver and the Uzbekistan crew members. They show their interest in China, the Chinese cuisine, the Chinese scenery. Particularly the Uzbekistan driver. He told me that he loved the fruits in Xinjiang. And in Korla, Korla is the city of pears. The pears grown in Korla is very popular. Now coming here in Xinjiang, they feel the enthusiasm and the hospitality of the Xinjiang people. The applause and the shouts from the spectators are adding more impetus into their competition. Now the simulated combustion zone, it charges out of the fires, and the next one is the minefield. The obstacles come one after another. The spectators are looking in anxiety. All the obstacles are testing the driver's mentality and their flexibility. It's also a test of the equipment's conditions and the coordination of the crew members. We hear the gunfires. The driver must hold on to the wheel.
You can hear blast sounds. That will be a great challenge for the psychology of the members. In the real battlegrounds, you will never know when a shell will be exploding near you. So now they have now driven into the waterground. They have slowed down the vehicle before entering into the water. But they are not allowed to stop the vehicle before entering into it. All right, the Uzbekistan team have successfully passed the waterground, speeding up to return to their base. After that, they will have to switch the howitzer into a combat readiness mode. Now they have successfully returned to their base. We can see that the engineers are trying to do a final inspection of the howitzer. Now they have unloaded the howitzer. And this is a test for both technique and psychology. But they look quite proficient. That is all due to this hard work that they have put into their daily practices and drills. Now they have restored all of these wires. All these movements are done in order. Now the most exciting stage. The Uzbekistan team is the last team competing on the ground. Because there is a time difference for the starting stage of these two teams, so now we are not quite sure which team will be winning at the first round. We can see that the way they are trying to nail this pillars onto the ground is different than that of a Kazakhstanian team. Each team has its own training techniques and their habitual way of swinging the hammer. Now they have to re-establish the howitzer, and right now they are fixing this anchor of the barrel, which weighs about 70 kilograms. It's very heavy, but it's very important. It will determine the way the shells are shot. And now you can see the barrel is lifted up to 75 degrees. Now we have an aimer. We can see an aimer. Now the first trial shot. The white flag is raised, and now shooting will begin. Well done. And that marks the finish of the first round of competition. Congratulations to both teams. Now we'll take a break before we go to the second round, a competition between the Iranian team and the Chinese team. The 8 members of the Chinese team will be participating in the next round. Let's take a short break before we enter the next stage. Let's take a look at some of the highlights of the last round.
技术阵地注意，第一组撤出比赛场地，第二组。
The first first two teams, please leave the ground, and the two teams of second round, please come to the battleground.
小时吧？是不是一共今天8个组，中间要怎么休息？
从没有停下过脚步，追寻军人的梦想。
多少次风雨中洗礼，听你永恒的信仰。
从没有停止过征程，追求战士的渴望。
多少次天地间灿烂，创造生命的辉煌。
让梦飞扬，势不可挡。胜利是拼搏的方向，英雄胆，铁血呀，共同赢得荣光。从没有停止过征程，
追求战士的渴望。
多少次天地间灿烂，
创造生命的辉煌。
让梦飞扬，军威浩荡，和平是荣誉的勋章，向军行，战疆场，共同赢得荣光。让梦飞扬，势不可挡。让梦飞扬，军威浩荡。让梦飞扬，让梦飞扬，军威浩荡，军威浩荡。和平是荣誉的勋章，荣誉的勋章，向军行，战疆场，共同赢得荣光，共同赢得荣光。
技术阵地注意，技术阵地注意。第二组比赛马上开始，请其他人员赶快离开场地。
火炮阵地，快速出击，现地抢修，拆卸分解，军械能手，用力量
Then
与技
repair.
巧化
And the weapons experts, with their strengths and their skills, could turn everything into good result. And in the complex landform, like the rivers and the combustion road, the driver can pass it through. Those warriors exhibit their strength. The 2019 International Army Games howitzer repair contest is about to begin. Dear chiefs and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. The howitzer repair contest round 2 is about to begin, and the contestants are already standing in line. In the second round, the number 3 base is from Iran. Number 4, the China team. Now, let's introduce those crew members. On the left, number 3, the Iran team. The crew members are Muhammad, Skrali, Kasim, Kahmasbi. The acting sub-lieutenant Abduli. Sub-lieutenant Ami Brahmi. Sub-lieutenant Ahmad Izadi. Lieutenant Sajjad Abbasizad. Second Lieutenant Hadi Mazri. Standing on the right, number 4, is the Chinese team. The crew members are Yang Pusen, Deng Kaipeng, and the Corporal Ma Yongling. The first class, Liu Pengcai. Wang Kun. Chen Chuang. And Corporal Zhong Hao. Zhang Deyun. Now let's give our best wishes to those 2 groups. And let's cheer up for the 2 groups. The round 2 contest here begins. The judge gives orders and the 2 teams starts timing. We will look forward to better performance from the 2 teams. The Irani and the Chinese teams are in tight preparation. Their wheeljack has been lifted up, and the 2 teams have to turn into the warrior state from the marching state. Still, they lower down the barrel, and the engineering vehicles are in place. The crew members are coordinating to dismantle the U-tube. They're getting down the screws. The spectators are waiting for the second round of howitzer repair contest. They're excitedly shouting for those 2 teams. They feel the passion from the audience. Meanwhile, the Iran team is skillfully working on the installation. They make good use of the instruments, and the Chinese team take one step forward to install the gun. They're very proficient and speedy. The booster is installed. The two crew members are in close coordination. They tighten the screws. And then the wheel jack is lifted up. The barrels is up. And the screws are in place. They're busy but in order. There is a saying that the gentleman should fight for the front line and win back the motherland. Victory belongs to the warriors, and right now the two teams are fighting for their homeland. From the expressions of the Chinese crew members, they are very serious. And now the spectators are giving out their shouts for the two teams. They are letting out their enthusiasm. The Iran team has completed the barrel. The Iran crew members work closely with each other. Now back to the China team. The tractor is in place. The gun will be connected. Lift it up. The cables are connected with the vehicle. All crew members stand in their position, and the crew leader gives instructions and starts the inspection. Now, the inspection time will not be counted into the total timing. With a DV camera, the ground judge is videotaping all the details of the installation. The Chinese spectators are waving the Chinese flag and cries out for the competitors. And also, we support the foreign team with our cheering. And now the Chinese vehicle marches on. In the 4.8 kilometers of obstacle road, we look forward to the Chinese performance. That's a very handsome turning. In the beginning of the obstacle crossing, they have to stop at the starting line. Now, we can see the driver, Zhang Deyun, take a quick turn of the wheel. Now it reinitiates the vehicle. Now it passes by the wheel track bridge, and then it accelerates the speed. Watching the competitors making efforts, I guess the spectators on site must be very excited. This is a rare opportunity to fight for ourselves. And let's cheer up for those Chinese competitors. We have a slogan, and fight on, the Chinese team. Please follow me to shout for them. The Chinese team, fight on. Wonderful. And now we feel the passion of the spectators. Your encouragement will be very inspiring for the contestants. Now back to the contest venue. The Chinese crew members jump down from the vehicle. They wear their gas mask very quickly. And Mr. Chen Chuang has actually taken his wife and 2 children with him. His family members are sitting there. According to Chen Shuang, he feels guilty for his family because of the limited time to be with them. We want to give our best wishes to the family members of those soldiers and officers. You did well. Behind every hero, there will be the family members waiting for them. Thank you for your understanding.
And we pay our tribute to all of you, the family members of the soldiers. Now we can see that the soldiers have are already in place, and they have now boarded the tractor. And they look quite good. I believe that their family members are very proud. Now they have went through the pollution and sterilization zone. They have to get out of the tractor before after parking the tractor. Now they have to take off the mask. Now they have to receive the inspection of the judges. This is a very clear one-by-one inspection. And all of these process is recorded. This inspection is to make sure that all of the equipment are still in place after went through the pollution zone. After restoring the masks into the bags, they have to march forward. I think that was a very smooth operation that showcases the capabilities of the Chinese PLA soldiers. We can see lovely kids cheering for the soldiers on the battleground. Now the Chinese team marches on. We have to mention Mr. Deng Kaipeng. And we overheard that he and his girlfriend have been together for 3 years. Although they can only meet each other several times a year, they are very close with each other. And he said that he will propose to his girlfriend if he wins a gold medal in this competition. We wish him the very best of luck in the competition. Now, this is the curvy road. It's a severe test for the control of the vehicles. You can see that the Chinese team is marching very fast ahead. And now the vehicle pauses. The team members get off to unhook the howitzer from the tractor. And if the howitzer was damaged in the process, the tractor will have to move forward on its own, and the members will stay in this place to fix and replace the wheels of the howitzer. Now you can see The tractor is parking halfway on the slope before moving forward.
看到车辆缓缓地开上了五岭。
Now the vehicle is driving down the hills. Through our live broadcast, we heard that some of our viewers have said that they also want to be part of this drill.
不要轻易尝试，否则你将会
But we have to remind you that this still is a very risky process. You have to think twice before you decided to participate.
好的。
Now,
现在举起了白旗。
park in a shelter. White flag is raised, and this part is finished in a smooth manner. I believe the Chinese team have showcased a brilliant competition and capabilities. This is real
不停地在崎岖路段
speed and passion.
确保安全地通过限制
This
栏。
is the narrow channel.
驾驶技术也是非
You have
常
to
高
drive carefully in order to pass. Very high requirement on the driving techniques. Many of our viewers also posted on our bulletin that our commentators will have to cheer more for the teams. So please join us in cheering for all of the teams. We see that the spectators are waving the national flag. Thank you all for coming and your concerned support for the national defense. We see a lot of the PLA members are also on the auditorium cheering for their comrades. You're the loveliest people in the world. Our highest salute goes to all of you.
屏幕下方的车辆计时与右上侧的
You might wonder the timekeeper, the difference between the timekeeper on the right-hand side and the one above, because this competition gives out awards to the best drivers. This is the time for the driver to start from the starting point to the time that it went back to the base. At the same time, we can see the Iranian team has not set off, so that their driving time timekeeping has not started yet. Right now, the Chinese team is the only one on the ground. Now the judges are inspecting the howitzer. The wheels of the howitzer were just replaced, and they have to check whether if all of the screws are tightly fastened. That is the job of the judges. You can see that the team members have already boarded the tractor.
发车，
好的，裁判长也下达了口令，伊朗
And they have set off.
伊朗队发车。
The Iranian team has just set off. Chinese team set up from the wheel changing area, and the Iranian team starts from the base.
计时的方法，确保了
So they started from a different starting point in order to ensure the safety, as there is only one track in the ground. Right now, the Iranian team is at the front of the spectator seats. Let's also cheer for them.
驾驶员啊是来自甘肃武威古乐县的
The Chinese driver is from Gansu province, Zhang Leyun, and he's a sergeant. He has been in this job for 7 years. Right now, he's representing the Chinese PLA to drive the tractor to showcase the capabilities of the Chinese army. Let's cheer for Sergeant Zhang Longyun.
他平时最喜欢的运动啊就是足球。
Zhang Deyun is a sports fan and he's a huge football fan. And his favorite sports star is Lionel Messi. But Messi is famous for his capability of using his left hand, while Zhang Deyun, as a driver, is very proficient in using his right hand. So you must be a very good footballer before you become a very good driver. Let's cheer for Zhang Leyun.
现在中国队正在冲出模拟燃烧区。
Now the Chinese team is rushing through this blast area, simulating the real explosions on the battlegrounds. The smoke of the explosions might hinder the sight of the drivers, which also constitute a challenge for the drivers. In the real battlegrounds, smoke and blast are quite common. Right now, they have entered the mining area. The poles at the roadside is the poles that is supposedly to be set up by the mining soldiers to remind the driver the safest path to go through this ground. Now, the water ground. Very nice posture. The team members need to hear our cheers. Please make yourself heard. And the team has successfully got out of the water, and once again they sped up to return to the base. Please welcome them back with your cheers and your applause. I believe that they can feel your passion and support. The soldiers have lifted out a box out from the tractor, which is the gun sight that will be used for later firing. They are still very quick and very proficient. They have very clear job division. Each movement has been practiced for thousands of times. Now, they are trying to hammer this anchors onto the ground. Let's cheer for them. This is Liu Hongcai, a private of their team. This is Cheng Chuang. And another member takes his place. This really showcased the teamwork between the soldiers. Now another member takes the place. In the whole process, the Chinese team has done a quite smooth job. I believe that the audience support for the team has been a motivation and source of good fortune to our team member. All right, the shell has been loaded, and this is pre-firing inspection. Adjust the angle. Has to be 45 degrees exactly, otherwise the penalty will be fined. The fix and maintenance of the artillery has to be fast and precise. Now the firing was successful, showing that the maintenance is up to standard. Now the judges will have to do some last inspection. Dear audience, please once again cheer for the Chinese team. Congratulations to the Chinese team on successfully finishing the competition. Now they're waving their hands as a gesture to thank the support from the spectators.
Very handsome Chinese members. Now let's keep on. The Iranian team is crossing by the wheel track bridge. Even though it's only 5 meters high, it has to go up and climb down very quickly. After the bridge, it's going to be the rugged road. The Iranian driver is also very skillful. The road is only 8 meters wide, so when it's turning, it's a test of the driver's skill. The entire course is 4.8 kilometers long, and there will be 12 obstacles. All the 12 obstacles are taken and simulated from the real battle. So usually, they will not appear at the same time in one battle, but we take them together in this course to test the skills of the crew members. So if they can undertake all of those obstacles in the future battles, they will be ready. Now we are shooting the Iranian spectators. They're thrilled. Now the Iran team is taking down the gun and changing the tire. The progress of the Iranian team is taking attention from the spectators. There will be the guards and judges accompany the vehicle. This is the tractor. The driver is driving this tractor. Iranian crew members are about to enter this obstacle. When it's backing off the vehicle, through the rearview mirror, they can change the direction. This is quite a difficult obstacle. The Iranian driver repeatedly turned the wheels. And now it backs off into the shelter. Now the vehicle drives away from the shelter. The white flag was raised, so that means it was a success. Next obstacle, the narrow road. Like we said, this narrow road is to imitate the real battlefield. When the broad road was already exploded, so they have to take the narrow road. The Iranian vehicle is not driving very fast, but it's very stable. That guarantees that when it's passing by the poles, it will not hit the poles on the two sides. Otherwise, they will be penalized with 30 seconds. So it's actually an offset of speed and the skills. Now it successfully get out of the narrow road and will start changing tire. The 7 crew members in that tire changing position are waiting for the vehicle. It's gonna stop. The driver's driving skill is perfect. It's backing off the vehicle, and there is one crew member giving instructions to the driver. The vehicle has to park in the exact place, otherwise the gun may not be successfully tied into the vehicle. After all, the gun is about 3.2 tons heavy, so to carry it with the manpower is very difficult. We can see that the Iranian crew members have muscles, so they're very strong. Now they give the information that the gun is already carried and connected into the vehicle, and there is a translator over there. So all the staff members are working very hard. The two countries speak different languages, but with the translation, their friendship is guaranteed. And Iranian spectators are shouting for their team. We hope the Iranian team could get a very good performance today. And the spectators are following closely. They're still waiting patiently. We have a lot of games. But luckily today it's not very sunny, and with the breeze, it's very comfortable. So that's a very good experience for the spectators. It's a good day for observing such games. There are a large number of the spectators here. They are all supportive of the national defense. Also, we have the Chinese officers waving their hands to us. Usually in Xinjiang province, it's very hot. But today, we got some clouds. Now the Iranian team continues. Inspection is finished. The vehicle restarts. Next, the slopes. Let's give our best wishes for the next obstacle. The vehicle is charging towards the hill, and it's taking and dragging the gun at very fast speed towards the 8-meter high of hill. By just observing the vehicle climbing up the hill, it's quite exciting. the tractor has very strong traction. So with the good equipment, they could perform well. The highest speed of the vehicle could be 83 kilometers.
疾驰在赛道上。
通过导播的画面，我们刚才看到的，在驾驶室内坐着的伊朗队员呀，也是手中紧紧的。
The Iranian crew members sitting inside the vehicle are holding tight to their seats. When it's accelerating and turning the direction, there will be very big centrifugal force, so they have to hold tight. From the dust left behind by the vehicle, we could judge the fast speed.
好的，我们先看到伊朗即将驶出，
崎岖路段。
是的，崎岖路段。
下一个将要到
Iranian team will arrive at the next obstacle about the simulated combustion zone. The smoke and the fires will be the distraction to the driver. Their sight will be blurred and their mentality will be examined. He must stay calm and pedal on the speed and charge through this road. To test the driver's skills, he must hold on to the right direction when the sights and the vision are blurred. And also he cannot touch the sideways, otherwise he will be penalized with more seconds. That's how stringent the rules are. So the best result is 0 penalty and 0 error. After taking the turn, he's gonna enter the blast area. It's to simulate the blast zone in the real battlefield, to test the driver's mentality and their quick reaction. There will be 10 poles, leaving only 3 meters for the vehicle to pass by, and it succeeded. At the lowest cost, the driver must be able to blaze a trail for the soldiers. So it takes not just the skills of the driver, but also the good mentality. Now the last obstacle, the water tank. It slows down and enters into the water. The crew members in the vehicle must lift up their feet. The water will enter into the vehicle. When it enters into the water, there were waves even splashed against the front window, but it was no problem for this one. It gets out of the water tank and now it accelerates the speed. Dear spectators, let's shout and cheer up for the Iranian team, because now it's the most critical moment for the Iranian team. They need your encouragement. Now back to the technical zone. The crew members will have to turn the artillery into the repair state. All the judges and commanders get close to the crew members and videotape the details. They take down the gun, stabilizes the tube, and the cable. Everything is going on smoothly. They must have both speed and patience. The crew members must also work with each other. The repair team has been training themselves for long, so that's why they have very close coordination with each other. After so many rounds of training and coordination in the real battlefield, they can have the best performance. Maybe just giving them a hint, the others will take it. Every battle is not won because of one soldier. With coordination, they can struggle till the end. So the soldiers are brothers. Now let's applaud for the brotherhood among the crew members. Now it's hammering, and the two people must have good rhythm. Their maneuver of hammering looks quite similar to the Chinese team. There were also two Chinese people hammering.
And there's a high requirement for the physicality, the technique, and the movement of the soldiers moving the hammers to wheel the anchors onto the ground. And the anchor, the length that exposed on the ground shouldn't be more than 27 centimeters. We can see that another team member is trying to rule out some of the problems, and they have very clear division of labor. This part gives a high requirement to the strength and physicality of the team members. They have to be steady and forceful, and this cannot be achieved within a day. Now the anchor have been fixed, and next would be a test firing of a shell, of an empty shell. We heard a viewer posted that the Iranian soldiers looks quite good, and we propose that we give another round of applause and cheering for the Iranian team. Now the empty shell has been loaded. The judges are now inspecting. See if there is a deviation. Inspection is over, ready to fire. And the shell has been fired. This completes marks the end of the competition for the Iranian team. We can see that the comrades of Iranian soldiers are on the stage cheering for their members. And this comradeship is demonstrated through this whole process. And next,